Good morning, yogis. Welcome to day 20 of Go Love Yourself. It's hard to believe that it's already 20 days into January. I hope it's been a magical start to the new year for you. We're going to start off in a pose called Hero's Pose. And if you have a book or a block or a pillow, let's take that and just place it in between the heels. So wide enough so that you can actually sit on it. And then we'll take the knees towards being together. If they don't come all the way together, if it's not comfortable, that's fine. And if this position doesn't feel good for you, then obviously any comfortable seated position. We'll just take the palms, turn them to face upwards, and that's just going to start to roll the chest and the shoulders open. And it's also kind of that gesture of being open and ready to receive. So to receive the gifts of our practice, close the eyes. Ground into the lower half of the body, and from that grounding, lengthen upwards, lifting through the chest, feeling the shoulders and the shoulder blades naturally release back. And it's just that energetic opening to the heart space, kind of deepening into that sense of being open to receiving. And then we'll just flow with the breath here a couple of times. So as we start to connect to the breath and drop into our practice, we'll inhale, reach the hands up, bend through the elbows so that we're keeping the shoulders soft. And then exhale, taking the hands down, letting the chin follow. And we'll do that 2 more times, really reaching the fingertips out, finding space through the body. And then exhaling to lower and drop it down. And 1 more time. And this time we'll pause with hands at heart center. Keep the head lifted, keep the neck long. And then we'll just turn towards the right side. Engage through the core, take the head, look towards the right. And then we'll use an inhale breath to draw it back through center. Pause at center, complete that inhale. And then we'll exhale towards the left, finding that deep, full belly exhale. Taking the head, turning it a little bit further. And 1 more time each side, inhaling back towards center, feeling the core engage, feeling the spine lengthen, turning and twisting, wringing out the spine from the bottom to the top, bring it back through center, once more to the left, and then back through center 1 more time. Interlace the fingers, turn the palms to face out, round through the spine, drop the chin down towards the chest. And just explore a little bit of range of motion from side to side here. Taking the arms from one side to the other. And then we'll bring the hands back to center. We'll inhale, lift up, reach the palms towards the ceiling, lift through the chest, lengthen through the spine, and then maybe take a slight back bend as we arch. Feeling that opening through the upper back, not so much through the lumbar spine. So through the low back, we're still creating space. And then we'll come back through center, release the hands, take the weight of the body forward, and then take your block and just place it to the top of the mat. So now we're in our tabletop position. We'll have the toes tucked under. Let's take the knees nice and wide, and we're just going to start to circle the hips. So bringing some more of that lubricating fluid through the joints of the body. If it's morning time, allowing the body to open up nice and slow. We'll take a few circles, move them in the opposite direction. And then we'll find ourselves back in a tabletop position. We'll extend the right leg behind us and then bend the right knee, slide it up towards the right tricep. Let's extend it back 1 more time. This time we'll round through the back, draw the knee in towards the chest. Imagine like you're going to take your forehead towards the knee, engage through the belly, and then stretch it out once more. And then this time we'll take a little bit of a twist, taking that right knee over towards the left tricep. See if you can lift that knee a little bit higher. And then once more, we'll extend it back behind us. So from here, we're going to step that right foot on the outside of the right hand, coming into a low lunge, walking that left knee back so that we have space in between the feet. Hands can either be on the mat, or we can take our hands and place them on blocks if we need a little bit more height, or on books or pillows. So using whatever you can or whatever you need to for your yoga practice. It doesn't have to actually be yoga props. We're going to take a couple of breaths in our low lunge here, and then we're going to draw the toes of the right foot up towards the shin, and then let that knee fall out towards the right side. Walk the left hand away, take the right hand, use that right hand to turn the body towards the right. So right knee is moving out and away, chest is lifted, spine is turning. And then we'll ground through that right foot. Plant the hands back down and sweep that right foot back. So same set next side, extending that left leg back, and then bending through the left knee, Hello Sagira, taking the left knee towards the left tricep, reach it back again, lengthen through the spine, and then round through the back, tuck the knee in, forehead towards knee, push into the mat around the back there, and then extend that left leg long. Feel the strength to the low belly. And then we'll take left knee over towards right tricep. Lift that knee up a little bit higher, really ground into the mat. Extending it back one more time, just finding enough length that we can take that length and step it forward. Finding a place to rest the hands on the inside of that left foot. We'll activate the left toes, draw them up, and then begin to drop that leg out towards the side. Planting down through the right hand, left hand comes on inside right knee. We turn, and there's that sense of dropping the right hip down towards the ground. So if we have our hips lifted high, we won't feel as much sensation. So let the pelvis and the hips sink. And then we'll ground down through the left foot. We're going to step it back into our tabletop position, and then we'll find a puppy stretch, walking the hands forward, sinking the heart, letting the forehead follow, lifting the tailbone upwards towards the ceiling, feeling a nice stretch through the front body, shoulders, and arms. So option here is to take prayer hands. We would drop the elbows down towards the ground, bring the palms together, and then reach the palms up overhead. And just a gentle push of the elbows in towards the mat is going to help to activate through the upper back. And then we can release the heart space just a little bit more towards the floor. If your hands are in prayer, let's release the palms back towards the floor. Lift the forehead, walk the hands back in, and then we'll take a child's pose. So taking the toes together, knees apart, pushing into the palms. Slowly settle the hips back towards the heels. Let's keep the head lifted. Take the hands, walk them in so that elbows are underneath shoulders. We're on the forearms, fingertips are pointing forward. And then imagine like you were trying to pull the top of your mat back towards your hips. So it's an isometric action of the arms, and you'll feel that activate through that place in between the shoulder blades. And then we can lift, lengthen, and strengthen. And we'll finish off our practice with a twist, lengthening out that left hand. Let's slide the right hand over, reach it towards the left side, and then maybe the head rests on the ground. We could even take that left hand, sweep it back and around towards the right hip. Reaching left arm long, unwind through center, opposite side. And then option to add that right hand, sweeping it back and around. Keep softening through the hips. Stretch right arm back out. And maybe we'll take one side stretch to complete. Walking the hands over towards the left,
Planting the forehead towards the floor, maybe it rests on the mat, and then pulling back through that right hip. Lift it up, walk it over, settle it down. And then walking your hands back through center, settling the heart and the forehead and the hips towards the mat. And take a few moments just to appreciate the opening and space that we've created throughout the body during this practice. Namaste, yogis.